Coco Gauff arrives in Riyadh for a last stop of 2025 season as she aims to defend WTA Finals crown. Coco Gauff arrived in Riyadh on Monday, October 27th, ahead of the 2025 WTA Finals, which will run from November 1st to 8th. The American will be defending her year-end title at the elite event after struggling with a rather up-and-down season that fell short of her lofty standards. While Gauff enjoyed a strong European clay court season earlier this year, winning her second career major at the French Open in June, she experienced form issues in the next 3 months. Having suffered early exits from every subsequent big tournament, including Wimbledon and the US Open, the world number 3 bounced back in style by picking up her second title of the year at the Wuhan Open earlier this month. Coco Gauff looking forward to her 2024 WTA Finals defense in Riyadh. Coco Gauff will be eager to continue her 5-match winning streak at the WTA Finals in Riyadh, where she won the 2024 title in hard-fought fashion against Jing Qinwen in a 3-set championship match. On Monday, the 21-year-old posted an Instagram story featuring a photo of her name and her picture from last year's trophy ceremony on the Champions Wall at the King Saud University Indoor Arena. In the caption, the 2-time major winner revealed to her followers that she had landed in the Middle Eastern country for her final tournament of 2025. If Gauff can go all the way at this week's WTA Finals, she will be looking down the prospect of winning back-to-back singles titles for the first time since 2023 when she reigned supreme at the Cincinnati Open and the US Open. Following her Paris triumph, the 11-time singles titleist had fallen into a slump as she surrendered 5 of her next 13 matches. The American somewhat righted the ship during her China Open title defense in early October, reaching the semifinals before going out 1-6, 2-6 to a red-hot Amanda Anisimova. She then didn't drop a set en route to her first-ever Wuhan Open triumph, beating Jasmine Paolini and Jessica Pegula in the semifinals and the final, respectively. Coco Gauff also made amends for her middling form at last year's WTA Finals. Coco Gauff announced herself at the head of the table with her maiden major triumph at the 2023 US Open. However, the then-teenager struggled for a large part of the 2024 season that also saw her part ways with her coach and tennis veteran, Brad Gilbert. Having failed to make her mark at any big tournament, she enjoyed a complete reversal of fortunes at the inaugural Riyadh-based WTA Finals. Despite a subpar 2-5 win/loss record before last year, Gauff came into her own at the year-end championships. Although she had a slow start, losing 5-7, 4-6 to Barbara Krejcikova in her opening round-robin match, she beat Jessica Pegula 6-3, 6-2 and Iga Swiatek 6-3, 6-4 in her next 2 matches to qualify for the semifinals. The world number 3 then defeated Aryna Sabalenka 7-6, 4, 6-3 to reach only her second big title match since 2023. In the final, she broke fellow first-time finalist Jing Qinwen as the latter served for the 2024 WTA Finals in the 3rd set before eking out a 3-6, 6-4, 7-6, 2 victory in 3 hours and 32 minutes. Clad in a sleek Nike travel suit and a pair of white headphones draped around her neck, Gauff smiled as cameras flashed. The young American, still only 21, had become more than just a tennis prodigy. She was now the face of a generational shift in women's sport. And in Riyadh, a city hosting the WTA Finals for the first time, Gauff's arrival felt symbolic, a bridge between tradition and transformation, sport and spectacle. The defender returns. A year ago, Gauff had stunned the tennis world by claiming her first WTA Finals crown in Cancun, toppling Aryna Sabalenka in a dazzling display of speed, resilience, and tactical brilliance. That triumph capped off her breakout stretch after winning the 2023 US Open, cementing her as the youngest American to hold both titles in decades. Now, as she arrived in Riyadh, the mission was clear: defend the throne. Last stop of the season. One more mountain to climb. She posted on social media, tagging the post with a desert sunset emoji and the words "unfinished business." It was a statement that carried both humility and hunger, the mindset of a champion who refuses to be satisfied. The desert stage awaits. The WTA Finals relocation to Saudi Arabia had sparked global conversation. For some, it was a bold move into a new frontier. For others, a controversial experiment. But for Gauff, it was an opportunity to bring women's tennis to a wider audience, to prove that excellence could bloom anywhere, even in the sands of Riyadh. As she stepped into the King Abdullah Sports City, where the courts shimmered beneath a dome of modern architecture and tradition, Gauff appeared focused. She was spotted practicing with her coach, Brad Gilbert, under the late afternoon light, fine-tuning her serve, a weapon that had drawn both praise and scrutiny throughout the season. Gilbert, ever the strategist, watched closely as she ran drills with the precision of a craftsman. "We've been here before," he reportedly told her. "But this time you set the tone." The courts of Riyadh were slower than in previous finals, a factor that could work in Gauff's favor. Her explosive athleticism and ability to transition from defense to offense with seamless agility made her a formidable threat on hard courts. Yet she knew her competition was fiercer than ever. Aryna Sabalenka eager for revenge, Iga Swiatek determined to reclaim her dominance, Elena Rybakina chasing her first finals crown, and Jessica Pegula, her close friend and doubles partner, hungry to make her own statement. Growth beyond titles. For Gauff, this week was about more than just defending points. It was about defining identity. Over the past 2 seasons, she had evolved from a prodigy into a poised ambassador of the sport. She had learned to balance fame and focus, public expectation and personal growth. In interviews leading up to Riyadh, Gauff reflected on the whirlwind of her journey. "The last couple of years have been about learning who I am as both a player and a person," she said. "When I first came on tour, I wanted to prove I belong. Now I want to prove I can lead." That leadership was evident in her advocacy off the court. Gauff had become a vocal supporter of initiatives promoting equality and opportunities for young athletes worldwide. Her influence extended far beyond tennis. Brands, media, and fans alike saw her as a symbol of modern empowerment. The rivals gather. When the 8 qualifiers for the WTA finals were announced, the draw immediately sparked anticipation. Sabalenka vs. Gauff was the headline everyone wanted, a rivalry that had grown richer with each meeting. The Belarusian powerhouse had recently confessed that her loss to Gauff in last year's final still stings, and she promised to approach Riyadh with vengeance in her mind. Swiatek, meanwhile, arrived with quiet confidence after reclaiming the world #1 ranking late in the season. Her tactical brilliance and consistency would be Gauff's biggest challenge in the group stage. Then there was Rybakina, the silent storm. Her effortless power and composure made her a dark horse no one wanted to face. Pegula, Garcia, Jing Qinwen, and Vondrasova rounded out the Elite 8, creating one of the most competitive WTA finals lineups in recent memory. The energy of Riyadh. As the tournament's opening ceremony approached, Riyadh's skyline shimmered with anticipation.